Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by. I have my Beatrix Potter journal, the Works of Beatrix Potter. The digital was created by Rachel Walters, and I'll be doing a walkthrough of that in just a moment. But I have one thing to share with you, because starting today, Rage and Bella Crafts is hosting another collaboration called Show Some Style JJ23. And if you would like to know more about the collaboration, it's an amazing lineup, guys. I mean, there are so many great people, great crafters that are in the collaboration, this particular collaboration. It started April 10th, today, with Rage and Bella Crafts, and she goes through the entire, I haven't watched the entire video yet, but I did watch the very beginning, and I'm having some issues with my internet. It keeps spooling, so I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. But she does go into it in depth as to what this particular collaboration is about. And it's very different from her other collaborations, from what she has explained so far. Like I said, I wasn't able to watch the entire video because it just keeps spooling and it's driving me crazy. So I stopped and decided I'm going to do my video. Whether I'll get it up or not tonight, I don't know. If not, I'll try again tomorrow. So, it started today, the 10th, and it runs until the 30th. We have Wendy's Journal Adventure, Edith from Scrapbooking with Me, Bella's Crafty Studio, which is Rachel's mom, Angela Kerr. Let's see, we have Corey, of course, Creating with Scraps, Carol Laws, oh my gosh, my fave, Rose from Journals in Time. Yeah, she's my fave. And then we have Melina, who is Edith's daughter. So we have mother-daughter team. Carrie Griffiths, fabulous. And we have Stacy from Stacy's Crafty Jam, which I am so thrilled. Congratulations, Stacy, and welcome. We have, let's see, Shona from Fraps and Scraps, wonderful. Joanne from Creating with Jovi. And let's see, Barbara by Bar, Paper Lover. I have never watched her, but plan on watching her prior to hers on the 29th because I don't know her yet. Oh, Gail Agnes Deli, which is fab. So, anyway, lots and lots of wonderful people. Carol Ann from CJ Crafts. If you could continue watching her videos, she is unwell at the time. Keep her in your prayers and your thoughts, please. And if, I don't know if she will still be on the 21st, or if there'll be a fill-in, but regardless, if you could continue watching her videos, she has a lot that she has done, so I'm pretty sure she's still doing her Tuesday, I think it's Tag Me Tuesday, and she has just got loads and loads and loads of videos that you can watch and be inspired by. I'm inspired by her all the time, and I miss you, Carol Ann. I can't wait until you're back. So yeah, and also, if you could keep my friend Kathy, hi Kathy, in your thoughts and prayers. And she is home and getting well, and I'm very thankful for that. So, let me get to my journal, which, if you can remember, this is a different cover. I had to deconstruct it and redo it because I had made a couple of errors when I put it together, and I just didn't like the way it closed. So I made a new cover, and I took out one of the signatures, so it only has 2 signatures now instead of 3. And it has a lot less ephemera because I can always use the ephemera for another journal. I wonder why I have so much ephemera. Watch the 100-Day Project and you'll know why. I have enough ephemera to do 100 journals, and I'm only on day, I think, I don't know, 35, 36. I lost count, but I have a lot. So anyway, this is her, and what I have done with this is it's sort of a soft cover. What I did was I took 2 file folders. I don't know why I have these threads. I think they're coming from the ribbon. I took 2 file folders, and I Mod Podged them, not Mod Podge, but used some collage medium, and I glued them together, and then I heat set them, because that really, I waited like a day, not a day, I waited like maybe 10 hours. And then I took some parchment paper and I heat set them, and which that does is it really glues them together nice and tight and doesn't, leave any wrinkles, or it just glues them nice and tight together. So I have 2 file folders, which makes it a little bit stiffer, but not too stiff. As you can see, it's still bendable. And then this is a piece of fabric that I used temporary spray adhesive that I use for sewing. I sprayed the file folder, placed it, and then I stitched all the way around it. This is a removable closure here, and this is a linen fabric that I used on the front. And then I sprayed it with some upholstery spray that you use on upholstery. I do that with all my fabric journals, just so they won't get dirty. This I made out of an old quilt. I just cut a heart, and I sewed around it so it wouldn't fray. And then I put a mother of pearl button there and some ribbon. And I just sewed it on, and then I just tied it with a ribbon on the back. And I went around the button several times and then went back through and tied it so that that button's not ever going to come off. Unless, of course, you wanted to take it off and use this for something else. But it needed a closure because I do have a lot of ephemera in there. After I did the cover, I took a napkin, a white, the white ply the white part of the napkin that you tear apart. And I put it through my printer, and I printed this image, and then I tore it out, and then I decoupaged it on the front using another heat method. What I did was I used my glue stick on this, and then I put it down on the fabric, and then I took parchment paper and I heat set it so I wouldn't get any wrinkles, and it would heat set right into the fabric, so I wouldn't have to do any Mod Podging or anything over it. But I decided afterwards I would go very carefully, because I didn't want to get any Mod Podge or any matte medium or whatever I used. I did not want to get it on the fabric. So I very carefully went over this with a very small paintbrush, and I did end up putting a seal over that so that it would never come off. I don't think it would have ever, but I didn't want to take any chances. So that's the cover. And then the inside is a white linen, and again, just, I put both of them on, and then I did a stitch all the way around when I made the cover. There is Tyvek between the fabric and the file holder, so it's nice and sturdy. Oh, this is the little tassel I made for it. You do not have to leave it in. I just pinned it there. You could take that off. It's got a little silver charm bunny, and it's not silver, it's silver tone. And then just some laces, and it's tied in with some satin ribbon. Okay, so let's begin. So here I put This Journal Belongs To for the person who decides they want it. This is for sale if anybody is interested. I will be opening my shop soon, and hopefully by the end of May. Hopefully. God willing. But anyway, so this is the first page. This is a photo of Beatrix with her bunny Benjamin, and that is a waxed, I waxed that, made vellum out of it, and just, glued it there. This is, I did a video on these. These are just clusters that I made. I did video on that. And there's some fabric. I did these in fabric. And there's some laces and just bits and pieces on some tea stain paper. And then I had some vintage fabric. There's Jeremiah Puddle Duck. So she's there. And then is just a button and a little pin. And this says Peter Rabbit. And that is the first page. And there's lace on a lot of the pages because, it's me and I like lace. I have inked all of the pages. I did not cut the white off because I loved how it framed each page. I just love that look. So I had never tried it before, and I just wanted to try it, and I loved the look. So I went for it, and it was a lot of work, but it was worth it because it's beautiful. I just love the way it came out. It's just really pretty. And here we have another cluster. And what I did with these clusters, if I used them as side tucks, I put them on some cardstock and then tore around the cardstock because, I showed somebody this journal today. A friend of mine stopped by, my college roommate. We've been friends for 49 years. So anyway, winter's here. So she stopped by today and I was showing her the journal. So in any event, this is a cluster, and if I used them for side tucks, like I said, I put some cardstock behind them to make them a little bit more sturdy. These we made, most of this ephemera you have seen either me make, or you've seen it if you follow Rach and Bella, or if you follow Rachel at Roxy Creation, you have seen this ephemera. So this just, unties, and this is just collaged vellum. And then you open it up, and inside I have two pockets, two little envelopes that I made out of some book pages from my Beatrix Potter books. This is Squirrel Nutkin, and this is Peter Rabbit. And then inside my little pocket from my book, I put the little Squirrel Nutkin stamp, and then somebody can write on that side. So I hope this video doesn't take forever because there's a lot of ephemera. I'll try not to go through it all. And then this one is Beatrix, Peter Rabbit. So Peter Rabbit, and then you can write on this side. And if you look inside the envelope, oops, he's in there. So these were fun to make. I didn't know really what to do with the pages of the book, and I had already torn them out because I am an avid fan. Have been since I was a little girl. So I know more about Beatrix Potter than I do probably any person in the world. I have probably 20 of her books, and I have a ton of her I have her autobiography. I have some figurines. I mean, I'm just an avid fan. So when Rach made this kit, it was, I'll tie that later. But anyway, that ties and slides in there. This is just a printed doily. And then this is from a book, Two Bad Mice. which is one of my favorite stories. Probably because of the history and how she wrote the story. It's just amazing. If you ever have an opportunity to read about how this story was created, I highly suggest it because you'll be amazed. It's and for that reason, it's my favorite story. And then I just used some ink and I put it in my spackle and I spackled some flowers. These are some roses that I used my stencil with. And then again, a little pocket. And this is just some pictures of some rabbits that I thought maybe she would have had. That came out of a book. Another page from the kit. This came out of a floral book that I have. And Beatrix actually wrote a book on fungi. And I'm pretty sure it's in one of the museums in England. And I don't remember if it's something that we can get. I'll have to research that. But there is a book by Beatrix Potter that she wrote on fungi. So, this is a tag I made. It's probably my favorite. I put some antique lace in a button. And I aged this photo I got from the New York Public Library. And how I did it was, I just took it, I printed it, and then I aged it with some inks. And then I used the clear emboss, Versa embossing. And then I took some of this embossing powder and I sprinkled it. And then I did the heating, and it turned it into sort of like, if you can see that. It's so aged, and it's just beautiful, and I love it. And then that's the back. I just made a tag out of it. And this is very, very antique, little bits of piece of lace. It says Beatrix here, and some linen underneath here. It's my favorite tag. So, there's a lot more about Beatrix in here than there is really about, like, Peter Rabbit. There's, like, a lot of her stories and things like that. Again, I just took a doily that I have, a plastic doily. It's a vintage plastic doily, and I did some more of that stenciling with the spackle. This is from the Tailor of Gloucester, which is another one of my favorite because I love to sew. Tailor of Gloucester is about the tailor who was creating a coat for the king, and he got very sick. And so the mice all got involved and helped create the coat for the king. And it's an adorable story, and I just love it. And I have a little mouse up here and some lace. And it's, again, another one of my favorite stories because I just love everything sewing. And I've made several journals. I actually made a beautiful, years ago, probably 3 now, a beautiful sewing book for my mom. And I included one of the smaller books on the Tailor of Gloucester. And then inside here, more book page envelopes, and I just slid in a journaling card here, and then one of my little snippets for the person who wants to play. And I did the same thing with this one, and those go in there. Another beautiful page. Some more lace. This is the center spread. And I have some lace, some velvet. These I put glossy accents on to make them little jewelry. And it has a little butterfly on it. And then inside the pocket, I have Beatrix and her dad, which I've waxed and turned into vellum, as you can see. And then I was researching and I found this little photo of a girl. It's very, I would say very vintage. But anyway, it was a bigger photo. I just sized it down. And she's in a stroller and she's reading a Beatrix Potter book. And I just couldn't resist. So I added that. She's so cute. So that's that page. Two Bad Mice. So I took apart a book I've had since, well, the book is 1957. So it's in pretty bad shape. And I took it apart. This is one of the pages. And so I made a pocket out of it. And then here are all the pages that I cut up. It's The Tale of Two Bad Mice. But I couldn't really figure out what to do with it and how to do it. So what I've done is, it's the whole story, front and back, but I've just left it in here like this. Here's the dollhouse she used as the, in the story. This was her dollhouse, and she used her dolls, which are here, Lucinda and Jane, and the mice, of course, that she caught and put, I think she found them at her aunt's house, and she caged them, and she named them. Tom Thumb is one of them, I know. And so anyway, it goes on, and you know, what have you, is Hunka Munka. And so yeah, so the story is here, and I just figured, well, I really don't know how to put it together or what to do with it, so I've just placed it in here, and the person can decide what they would want to do with it. Here, I found this on, I don't remember if it was the New York Public Library. I don't remember where I found it, actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I've done is I took and I printed it on napkin, you know, the white part of the napkin. And then I decoupaged it, or used matte medium, onto newsprint. And then I covered it again with the matte medium. After it dried, I put a coat of matte medium over it. And it kind of turned it into this really great paper. And what it is, it's Beatrix is writing to Mr. Warren, and she's talking about, this is written in 1904, and she's talking about how she wants to use the dollhouse as, to create her own version for the Tale of Two Bad Mice. And so this is the writing that she did to him regarding the story, which they thought would never, ever make it into publication, which it did, and became one of the best stories ever. Well, in my opinion. And I think several others. I haven't really gotten into that. This is part of the kit, but it's Two Bad Mice. It says, this looks like the end of the story, but it isn't. Beatrix Potter. And something I made, and I just put some flowers here, and it says, with opportunity, the world is very interesting, Beatrix Potter. And this I made with Rach and Bella, and it was a freebie on her site, and it is a hidden paper clip. And in here, I have another picture of Beatrix on some cardstock, free writing, and just an embroidered flower. And yeah, she shows how to make it on her on her YouTube. So visit her YouTube and she will show you how to make that. Here I have an embroidered flower. This is paper, but this is embroidery around it. and a little butterfly here. This flips up. It's just some vellum and some lace here. This flips up. I have Beatrix when she was little with her bunny. And I have used my little technique here, which I probably can't see. I'll hold it up. With the collage medium, and made it look real vintage by putting that over it. And then I have some little thread antennae on my butterflies here. And then this I made into a pocket. And I also did some stenciling. And then here's some more pictures from the story 3 Bad Mice that were left over from the book. So I didn't want to back these because they had pictures on the back as well. So I put those in there. And this just flips back down. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Again, another book page from a German floral book that I own. In here is an envelope. It says Master Noel Moore that Beatrix had written to. And the stamp, obviously this is a copy. The stamp, what I did was I cut out and I waxed it so it would be a stamp. So it wouldn't just be like the image from the stamp. And I did it on tea stain paper. And inside is a letter. And I don't remember where I got this. Probably the New York Public Library, which is where a lot of her stuff is still. And it's in, all you have to do is type in public domain, images or whatever you're looking for, put in who you're looking for, what you're looking for, and it will come up. And this was one of the first letters that she wrote to Noel, thanking him for the interest in her sketching and, you know, her book that she wanted to write. And so that goes into this envelope, which I just did on tea stain paper and made it look old. And that just slides right in here. And then here just says garden, and it's got a little radish and just some fabric and one of my snippets. Here is something I made. It flips over. You really don't need the paper clip, but I put it there anyway because it flips over the page. And what it is just a CD envelope. But you open it up, and what I did was I stamped it first, and then I stenciled with some rose stencil. And then I put some applique on it, and underneath here is just threads. And this is just a die cut. And then inside, I have, this is so that when you take it out, you see this. And then inside, I made this little card, and it's just got some threads. And then you can write on the back. So that's just an idea. I may have done a video on this. I don't remember if I did a video on making these. I think I was going to, and then I just ran out of time, or I just forgot or something. I don't remember, but it was in with my ephemera for the journal, and then I was like, did I do that video? If I didn't, I'd be happy to. But they're easy enough. I mean, there's tons of videos on these. So this was just my take on it. And that just goes over the page like that. And then this was, we did this as well as part of the 100-Day Project. And this is Franken paper. and I forgot to put it in my book. So I made little books out of it, and I used my handmade paper, which I just finished making more of, which I'm so thankful. But somebody can either write in it or you can watercolor on it. But like I said, it was supposed to be a page in my book, but I forgot to put it in there, so I made a couple of booklets for the person to do some writing. And there's a pocket in the front and a pocket in the back. So there's that. And this is from a different kit from Rach and Bella, which I thought went well with the journal. This is just some tea-stained graph paper. And just another piece of vellum. And that's the end of the first signature. Second signature. And then in here, it says Beatrix here. And then I just aged some photos by doing that technique I told you about. I don't know if I did a video. If I didn't, I will do one. But they're very simple to do. But it really ages the photo really, really well. I just love them. I love how it works. So, yeah. So those go in there. And this was part of the kit, so it's just a little writing spot. It has a lot of writing space. It doesn't look it, but it does have a lot of writing space. This is just a tag I made. And just put some paper on the cardstock on the back. And so somebody can write on it. I did not clip it or anything. It's more of a journaling card because I didn't want to take anything away from it. And another pocket from another kit, but I thought it went well with this. And then this is a postcard that I made. And this is Beatrix, one of her first drawings. And then this is out of her first Peter Rabbit book. And then I just stamped it to make it look like, you know, a postcard. But the postcard opens up like this, and you have Peter Rabbit on the inside. And then it opens up on this side, and it has a little bunny here. And it has Peter Rabbit walking down the walkway. And this is the lake house. So yeah, so it just closes like this and closes like this. And then it's got some butterflies with little threads, and it's a postcard. So yeah, just something I was playing with one day and came up with. This is just a doily for a secret writing space and one of the Beatrix Potter sayings. Now the picture of Beatrix, I just can't get enough of that. I've printed it on several different kinds of paper. This flips up, and then I decoupage some bunnies under there. This is on tracing paper. This is something I made on video, and it's just a little writing spot. I have a video of making these, and these are just scraps. This is one of the tags from the kit, but this is one of the scraps from the bottom of the kit, from the bottom of the first page. So is this. And that just slides right in there, and that slides in there. And then here's the tag for there. And I do have a video on making these if you're interested. I don't know which one. And then there's just a little charm up here that keeps this closed up here. And it's got a little mouse and a little butterfly. Here's just a picture out of a gardening magazine because, of course, you know, Peter Rabbit. And he's running out of the garden because the farmer's chasing him. And then here's some envelopes, and inside I put some more snippets because I have a ton of them. Like, a ton. Because I can't stop making them. And they're all lined. I, you know, put some images on the inside of all the envelopes. So, yeah. They're not printed on both sides. They're just glued. And then there's another one, and I put a little pin. So if somebody wanted to use it as a dangle, they could. These are very, very, I just love them. I stamped on some fabric and attached that. There's a button, some lace, fabric, paper. I could make those all day. Again, a watering can from a gardening magazine. I backed that on some cardstock to make it more sturdy. This I did on video. It's just one piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. It opens up this way, and this way, and this way. This is actually taken, this is a picture I took, and it's right down, I have a lake in my backyard, and it's got a marsh, and those were wild. So that's one of my pictures. I put a lot of my own pictures in my journals. And then this came from here. This little pocket came from this section. This came from this section. And then these were the scraps that were left over. Or no, these were from something else. The bottom of the first page. And then here's some more scraps that you can write on the back of. I did a video on making this. So then it closes here, closes down here. I made several of these, like several. And then you just pull it down, around, with the string around. Oops. That's just a little brag. And then I just put some glossy accents on the stamps and used them as like little charms. And that slides right in there. And I just put this here just to, I don't know, keep it there. Center spread for this I got from Graphics Fairy because I wanted another center spread. And this is some velvet. This is a bunny. And I just imagined that this would be like the garden where you would walk in. And another little snippet. This came out of a book. This is one of Beatrix's paintings she did, or sketches, watercolor I think it is, that I got out of one of my books and just backed it with some cardstock for writing. Two Bad Mice, and another snippet, which I backed with some file folder and just this cottontail down here out of fabric, button, just collaged. I did a video on these. And then another one, and then this, this has some vellum in here that I printed on from the kit, and then it folds over, and then this is from a book page, and I just backed it on some tea stained paper, and it slides right in here. And then this says, I hold that a strongly marked personality can influence descendants for generations. Beatrix Potter. And then I just made this little lacy thing and put some fabric. And then some journaling cards are in here. Little Miss Puddle Duck is in there as well. This was fun to make. I don't know if I did a video on this or not. I think I was going to, and I probably didn't get around to it. And that slides right in there. These are pictures of the lake house, hilltop. And this is from a German book of Beatrix Potter's. And I just put some threads in there because, I don't know, I just wanted to. And here's another one. And then here's another one. These might have come off of Wikipedia, I don't remember. Or New York Public Library. Probably New York Public Library because they're free domain. Wikipedia, that's free domain too, I'm pretty sure. And then I just did a ruffle and another little snippet with a little butterfly and it says Hilltop there. And then this came out of that same floral book. Some more stenciling with some texture paste that I dyed with the reinker. Another one of those tags. I won't go through it. This just says countryside, another snippet. Okay, so this is the last part. I wanted some more writing space. So I found my bunnies. We did some collaging with napkins on the 100-day project. So there's this napkin on this side. This is a vellum bag. So I did bunnies on this side, bunnies on this side, and then you open it up. I have some charms on here. I think I did that too fast. Hold on. Okay, so then you open it up. It's just got a 3 pamphlet stitch. And then there's a pocket here. Oops. Oh my goodness, everything fell out. Okay, so I had these from a journal I made a long time ago for my grandson, whose name is Benjamin. And these are all Benjamin Bunny. So I used these because I had them left over from that journal. I made him a baby book. So I put those in there for writing. And then this is the other half of that Frankenpaper. So there's a little booklet there. And then some more paper. These are just some tags I made. And another journaling card, a little pocket. So I just thought maybe the person would like some more writing space. So basically that's all that this is. And some scraps that I had left over. And that's it for that. And then, I won't tie that up. This was from another book. It's just a garden picture. And I just thought it went real well with the journal. So I backed that with some cardstock. And that is glued on. And then this is, it says, once upon a time there were 4 little rabbits. And their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter by Beatrix Potter. And this is Peter Rabbit. And then it's just a snippet, and it's got lots of fabric. I have some vintage Peter Rabbit. It's all the different characters on the fabric. So I just tore them all out, and I sewed it all on, and made a really big snippet out of that one. And then this picture I found doing some research, and I aged it. And did the same thing. Did the aging, and then the, you know, with the, I think I used Vintage Photo. And I just did the edges with my scissors. And then I put the clear, you know, to do the embossing. I used the clear Versamark. And then the embossing powder. Sprinkled it on, tapped it off, heated it up, and made a photo out of it. So this is my favorite. And then this was in a book, that 1957 book, but when I took it out, it tore. So I made some old tape with my inks, and I taped it. But this tells... It says the writer of this story was born in London, England in 1866. Life for a young girl growing up then was very different than it is today. In the late 1800s, a girl did not consider having a career. She was expected to remain at home and tend to domestic affairs. How Beatrix Potter came to be a successful writer of an endearing stories for children is a fascinating story in itself. And then it tells all about Beatrix Potter and how she was cared for and educated by private nurses and tutors and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to read the whole thing. With money she earned from sale of her books, Beatrix bought a small piece of property called Hilltop Farm, which I showed you somewhere here, Hilltop, which is there. And it just tells the whole story. So down here I put, I hope that a strong and marked personality can influence descendants for generations. And up here I said, with opportunity, world is very interesting. Beatrix Potter. I have put little, oh my goodness. Yes, Peter Rabbit. That was her first book. A picture of her when she was younger. I remember I used to half believe and wholly play with fairies when I was a child. What heaven can be more real than to retain the spirit world of a childhood, tempered and balanced by knowledge and common sense? Beatrix Potter. Believe there is great power silently working all things for good. Behave yourself and never mind the rest. Beatrix Potter. So I have folded that up. I have placed this picture of her, which I believe was one of the last pictures taken of her, at the lake house. And that gets tied up with this, which has a bunny and a butterfly. And that gets tied up here, placed inside that pocket, along with this. And that is the end of my journal. Again, it's for sale. If anybody is interested, you can contact me. Otherwise, it will go in my shop. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, be well, be safe, and God bless. I hope you like it. Bye-bye, everybody.